Ramona, at the end, you really looked like you guys, and I saw in People magazine that you were at her wedding, Bethany's wedding, and the others weren't.
Right.
And so it appears that you guys have really, truly bonded. Like, you have become better friends.
You know, the funny thing is, it really is like real life. And you know, in your real life, you are closer to people at different times. Certainly, these friendships were all born on the show. Because we were working together, and we have become friends, and it's great. I think it's wonderful to be able to enjoy spending time with people. This weekend, we were all, Ramona and Mario and Simon and I were all out in the Hamptons, and we spent Monday afternoon together. And not because we were working, but just because we wanted to hang out. We are actually pretty hardcore about it because our kids and each other are our first priority, then our careers, and then everything else after that. And what people don't see, I know that people go online and they see pictures of us at hundreds of events and they think, oh wow, they go out every night. We actually don't. What we do is we go out twice a week, not on consecutive nights unless the world's coming to an end.
Right.
But on those nights that we go out, if we go out on a Tuesday, we'll go to 4 events. And you go, show up, you'll say hi to the host, and take your pictures with the product, and move on to the next one.
But then, come 9 o'clock, partying's over, dinner time, date night, just for us to
that's
reconnect.
so great, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I love about your relationship, and as it appears on television, is that you don't take yourself so seriously. You're silly. Last night was cracking me up because at Ramona's wedding, and Simon was going blah, 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 and I thought, that is so something my husband would do. And I would have to say, you know what? It was cute like 3 minutes ago. Stop doing that. And I thought, that is exactly what I have to do.
The phrase is yours, zip it.
Zip it. You were like, it was funny. No, it's not. It was no. So, but you guys are funny. You have fun with each other, and you seem you were dancing and having fun. You're making you're making fun of it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you take yourself too seriously, as some of the people on our show do, you're just asking for trouble. You know, because the thing is, life isn't perfect. Anyone who tries to pretend that they have, you know, the facade of grace and demeanor, or the facade of being so popular and being perfect all the time.
You're talking about faux European nobility, are you?
You know what? I have
Money
to say,
can't buy
I'm going to talk about that later because that song has been in my head all day.
It is so catchy. It is so catchy.
I was singing it this morning. My husband's actually in New York right now, and I'm by myself, and I was making lunch, and I was singing out loud. Money can't buy, and I thought, oh my gosh, my boys, it is so catchy. Elegance is learned. And my boys were like, oh, mommy. And I was like, oh, but I'm interviewing her today. And you really can't get it out of your head.
No,
if nothing else, it's a tune that you cannot stop
You know what?
singing.
Here's the thing.
So some of those bad commercials are tunes you can't stop singing to. It doesn't mean it's good.
The way it happened was they said, okay, we're getting a group together. We're going to go on a field trip. We're going to the Virgin Islands. Do you want to come? Sure. You know, I mean, it wasn't a decision that I made lightly.
You turned down a party on that yacht in
I
the
was
house
like,
they had.
I saw the house and the boat. Yes,
Yeah.
please. And I'll take 2. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny because things started happening from the moment we landed in St. Thomas before we even got to St. John. And there were erratic things that she would say, and she kept contradicting herself, and she kept sort of jabbing and inserting herself into conversations and trying to just say things that were pretty mean.
Like stir the pot.
Yes, and we kept, well, we were reacting to it at first in humor, and then we were sort of making fun of it, and then we started to get angry because she kept doing it, and it was like, please stop attacking. You know, don't hold Bethany.
How did you suddenly turn into a vampire?
Oh yes, I'm a vampire. I'm channeling the devil. At one point, and I don't think you saw this, she kept saying, she'd nickname me Encyclopedia. She's like, well, what do you have to say about it? Encyclopedia. What are you doing? Encyclopedia.
She was just angry.
Yes.
Rageful.
And anyway, it just built and built and built until we realized, wow, stop trying to process this rationally because it isn't rational.
Right.
We don't exactly know how it's going to be put together and what's going to be shown and what isn't going to be shown. And Kelly originally thought it was hilarious, and then she started to see the backlash that she was getting. And Bravo got some as well. Is this crossing the boundary in some respects?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it now seems that Kelly's had this advice from whoever's advising her to turn it into that she was the victim of bullying, which I'm really offended by, because bullying is a serious issue for a lot of young people in this world. And certainly from what we saw as a viewer, I didn't see anyone bullying.
So I threw out the question on Twitter today. What do you want me to ask Alex and Simon? And this I thought was a great question. A Twitter follower of mine said, you got to ask Simon if he is so proud of his wife for turning into a badass at the end of the show and standing up for herself and saying it like it was.
Yes and no. I mean, the thing is, what the audience saw was new for them. It wasn't new for me. I think one of the things she beats me around at the time all the time. Look,
This is the Alex that only comes out at night.
in bed. But honestly, in real life, I think when you have conflict, if you don't need to see those people, you just don't see them again.
Yes, that's the biggest difference between real life and a reality show.
Okay.
When you finally have it up to here with somebody, you just don't ever see them again. But when you're contracted to be on a show with them, you are going to continue to see them over
Time
and
after
over
time after
if
party after
you
party.
don't say
Exactly.
anything, then they think that it's okay if they keep on trashing your kids. People have written really amazing reviews saying, oh look, I didn't really like Alex and Simon at first. I approached this book with trepidation. It was really sweet, it was real fun. It only took me 6 hours to read. It was once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. And then they also go on to say that because it gives both sides. I mean, ideally parenting is a two-person job. You know, whether it's two men or two women, or in our case, a man and a woman. Is that right?
Last I checked.
That's season 4. Honey.